Good morning. So we've been looking at your research essays and I think they need a little bit of help. So we're going to work on it a little more. So today I'm going to talk about rethinking and revising your research essay to improve it. So your thesis needs to answer the prompt. This is really important. So the main content that your essay contains has to go to the prompt that you've been given. So, for instance, for China, you are supposed to explain how citizens use internet technology and social media platforms to communicate political views and coordinate political action. And you're supposed to make a prediction about how increased access to a free internet and social media will change the way movements happen and governments function. For Georgia, and by the way, feel free to scrub through to your topic, you are supposed to explain how limited access to internet communication technologies affects the lives of Georgian citizens now and make a prediction about how increased access to ICTs would change lives. For Chile, you're supposed to explain why limited access to public libraries slowed the emergency response to the disaster and make a prediction about how increased access to public libraries would improve emergency response in the future. And for Egypt, you're supposed to explain how internet communication technologies, ICTs, have contributed to advancing political freedom in Egypt and make a prediction about the role of ICTs in the political or social future of Egypt. And finally, in Pakistan, you are supposed to explain how citizens use technology like smartphones to communicate political views and coordinate political action, and you're supposed to make a prediction about how increased access to smartphone technology will change the way movements happen and governments function. These explanations and predictions should be encapsulated or included in your thesis statement because that's what you're proving in your whole essay. So if you feel like you can't answer the prompt, well, I don't know how internet communication technologies will affect the future of politics in Egypt. You may need to do more research. So looking at notes, I see that a lot of people have answered the questions, the guiding questions in their notes, but they haven't necessarily done enough research to argue an answer to the prompt. So once you have a thesis, you're going to make claims, and claims are assertions. So I'm going to use that word quite a bit in Galileo. And an assertion is an opinion that's stated as a fact. So it's your opinion, but you're saying it as if it's a true proven fact because you intend to prove it in your paper. They are the main reasons in support of your thesis. So for example, if your thesis is, and I'm not saying this is a good thesis because I haven't done the research on the Pakistan case, but if your thesis was, in Pakistan, citizens' multiple uses of smartphone technology will only increase as the government tries to limit it, there I am mentioning that there are multiple ways that citizens use smartphone technology, and I make a prediction as to that use. One claim might be citizens will continue to use blogs, so that's a particular use to communicate political ideas that can't be communicated through traditional means. So I'm breaking down my thesis into assertions that are parts of the thesis. So when you go to write your essay, in the body of your essay, you're going to use the claim as the topic sentence of each paragraph. You're going to use context to say where your evidence comes from, so according to the case study, according to BBC News, etc. And then after your evidence, you're going to use commentary to analyze and explain the way your evidence supports your thesis and your claim. And a good rule of thumb to follow, since the commentary is where you're really putting in most of your argument, is to have about twice as much commentary as you have evidence. So these are going to be lengthy, detailed paragraphs. Please remember to cite your sources. Anything that you got from your research, so anything you didn't come into this project knowing that appears in your paper, needs to be attributed to its source. You're going to use APA formatting, and the way we're going to do this is in parentheses you're going to put the author or the title of the article if there's no author, and the date. Frequently you'll put a page number if you have a book. Sometimes people require you to count paragraphs on a web page. We're not asking for that. We just want to be able to cross-reference to your works cited. So just the author or the title and the date. So here's an example in parentheses for my name, Cavan 2012. Then also don't forget to include a works cited page so we can easily see which sources you've used in your paper and can do that cross-referencing I just mentioned. In your works cited page, include all of your sources that you've cited in your paper in correct APA format, alphabetical order by author. So good luck on your revision, and feel free to ask in person if you have questions.